Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Hooligan Chronicles. And today, my guest is none other than Apollon CEO, my dear friend, my business partner, my partner in crime, Karalina. And obviously, Robert and I talked about it. And after the video that's just been released a few days ago, it was no brainer as to who has to be our next guest. So, Carolina, welcome to the podcast, and I'm going to try my best to be as professional as I can be.
Thank you guys for having me.
So we'll obviously get to the video because we can't ignore it. But a lot of people obviously know who you are. I mean, especially people that follow Apollon Gym, Apollon Nutrition. You are the CEO of the company, very well respected. Everybody likes you. Well, more people like you than they like me. So I'll get to it because again, some people know you, and some of those that will watch this episode maybe don't know the full story. So I'm gonna go first with. What is your background? Where you from? And just tell us a little bit about yourself.
I was born in Belarus, in Minsk, and since I was 3 years old, I have a lot of passion for dancing. So that's how I saw my career, even like being a child. I loved dancing. So I was pretty good in school. So school was not hard for me in terms of like middle school and high school. And then when I was 16, I had a little bit of a heart problem. So at that time, my parents got scared that such intense physical activities might hurt me, obviously putting my career and putting all 100% into dancing, because at some point I was dancing 6 hours a day, every single day. And that's including just my like dance rehearsals and something like that, but I was also working as a dance teacher. So when I was 16, I graduated high school, and I decided to go to Radio Technical University. My dad is an engineer, and I was never good in physics, but algebra and math was it was not actually hard for me. So that's why I decided to go like into Radio Technical University and proceed with like marketing. I stayed there for about, I would say, like a semester, maybe a semester and a half, and came back home and told my parents, I'm not gonna longer do that. I hate every single moment, and I'm not doing that anymore. So I'm very actually grateful to my parents who actually sat me down, and my dad had a talk with me. He goes to me, what do you want to do? And I told him exactly the same thing. Since I was a child, I told him I want to dance. He goes to me, you understand that it can be the consequences, like when it comes to your health, and it's very hard profession to go into in terms of being obviously professional dancer, like going into ballet. And I told him that's what I see myself at, so I don't want to do anything else. He goes to me, okay, I heard enough, go do it, I don't care. So the next chapter was for me University of Culture and Arts, going into the dancing major. And that's how it all started. I enjoyed every single minute of it. Even like being surrounded by artistic people, it's not only dancers but actors, singers, like it was a lot of fun. So when I was, I think, on third year of my education, I had an opportunity to come here. I got a visa, and I always wanted to visit America. So my aunt lived here for already like 20 plus years. And my cousin, he had his kids here that I've never seen. So to me, it was just something cool, like kind of like a summer trip to go and visit my like extended family. And I came here and never left. So it's been 11 years
Lucky
so
us.
far. Yeah, so I didn't get a chance yet to go back to Belarus ever since then.
Okay. Um, you came to Apollon with no experience in running the gym. You never even worked at the gym, as far as I remember. But yet you are greatly responsible for the popularity of Apollon Gym it is today. And, that was definitely unexpected because I know I was running Apollon for a few years before you joined. And your impact is unbelievable. It's tremendous. So for somebody with no background, with no experience, with anything to do with fitness industry as a whole, how did you manage to, I mean, to get Apollon Gym even more popular than it was? What's the secret to your approach?
I mean, how I always saw it, I love people. So when it comes to, I understand there was no like obviously experience in fitness industry, not running a gym, especially Apollon. It's a different environment with different people coming here like from different areas of expertise. It's very much different from the commercial gyms and like fitness studios. But I was always like, I think, personal with people, and I always loved people. So that's, I think, the secret. So when you communicate with people on a daily basis, you have to be like naturally good, I think, psychologist. So to understand where people come from, what their interests, what triggers them. And I think that was the biggest secret of mine. I actually, up until today, I do enjoy and I do care about the people that come to Apollon, and I enjoy talking to them.
Okay. And, I mean, an
So
obvious follow up question would be, the same thing with Apollon Nutrition. You, you joined obviously Apollon Nutrition because it was out of Apollon Gym. It was part of the gym initially, but it grew to be a lot bigger than Apollon Gym. I mean, it's internationally known company, um, and you started off as just helping around as an employee to now being a CEO of the company and basically a partner in the business as well. And there are a lot of supplement companies. There are thousands of them. It means there are thousands of CEOs with more experience and background in the supplement industry, which you had none. And yet, once again, just like with Apollon Gym, in a completely different industry, once again, you succeeded, and you're a huge part of its success. Was it the same approach as to Apollon Gym, or was it something different? How did you manage to get successful in that field too?
So I think actually me not having any experience in supplement industry is a key, because I was not put in a box, so I did not follow any rules, and I just did what I felt right to do. So I do have a lot of pride in what I do. Doesn't matter like what part of my like what work routine on a daily basis I do. So sometimes that's exactly how I felt. Actually, there are a lot of like talented people right out there when it comes to like, it doesn't matter like who you want to be. You want to be an actress, for example, and a lot of actresses who go to, let's say, acting schools, they get put in a box and they follow certain rules and they have to like go by certain regulations as well. Like me coming into supplement industry and doing what I felt is right, it was not right or wrong. It's just how I felt. So I did not obviously follow any book how to be obviously CEO of the company or employee of the company. I was just trying to do my best.
Okay. And now that that Apollon Nutrition, it is what it is today. You, as a CEO of the company, you also have to deal with quite a few very well-known, popular individuals, well-respected, legendary, even to say. How it is for you to be in a position where you have to, on a daily basis, deal not only with maybe manufacturers and sales and marketing, but also with such legends that, say, for example, Branch Warren, who is legendary bodybuilding, and he is part of Apollon Nutrition team, or Lee Priest, who recently joined Apollon Gym team, or Corey Anderson, who is fighting for a title fight in Bellator. Do you find it a challenge to deal with such individuals who are extremely popular and well respected? Do you feel intimidated? I mean, I know you don't get intimidated, but at the same time, do you find it challenging?
Honestly, I do not. I mean, it's a huge honor to be able to speak to like such individuals as like Branch Warren, like you mentioned, Lee Priest, Corey Anderson. It doesn't matter, like Claudia Gadea, who used to come here also. I mean, you can name like a lot of them, and it's an honor to talk to them. I do respect them very much, and I do know what actually they did for the sport that I mean, bodybuilding or fighting, it doesn't matter. So, yes, every single person is different, and you just need to find a way to talk to them. So, I think if they feel that you like honest, if they see the fire in you, if they see the care for the company in you, they appreciate it and they respect you back. So I think that was pretty much done deal with obviously Branch. I just talked to him 30 minutes ago. I talk to him on a weekly basis. It was never a challenge.
Okay. Um, what about the complete opposite of that? I mean, today, marketing, today, exposure, popularity, fame, they don't just come from bodybuilding or from sports or from acting or whatnot. It also comes from social media. And today, the younger generation, I mean, it's a little bit different approach, and yet I've seen you interact with, for example, Luke Elsman, right? So Luke is a social media star, and he's very well known, especially among the younger generation. I mean, that's the complete opposite of approach as to, say, for example, again, Branch Warren. Do you feel like you need to change your approach when you interact with Luke Helsman, or is it the same principle? Is it the same approach exactly as dealing with some of the, I don't want to say it, but it's the truth, older guys?
I mean, I think it's a question to Luke, honestly. if, if he feels like I need to change my approach to in order like talking to him or like working with him, but like when it comes to me, I think the secret is never stop learning. I learn from all of them, from Luke, from Branch, from it doesn't matter, Sarah, Maria, Emily, Jose, Eric, Dan, whatever. Like it, you have to be open-minded. Like you have to understand that obviously younger generation, a lot of them on TikTok, not all of them, but a lot of them on TikTok. So obviously Luke is very popular on TikTok, and yes, I stayed at the gym and I saw like how much actually effort they put into those videos and how hard it is to come up with the idea, to film it, and then to edit it, and then to present us obviously the final product. I mean, there is no challenge for me to talk to Luke compared to Branch. It's a different approach, 100%, but in terms of like challenges, I don't think so.
Hmm. It's interesting. You just named Luke, Branch, Maria, Emily, Dan, Eric, pretty much the entire Apollon team, except me. I guess there is nothing to learn from me. Thank you very much. Now I know where I stand.
Listen, Robic, you don't need to be named. I think everybody knows that Apollon is your vision, and
No, I'm
all.
kidding. Of course, it was just funny, but I thought I'm gonna get it in there. No, I know exactly what you mean, and I've seen you in action. I've seen how you interact with people, and it's always with respect. And I know that there are people who are actually intimidated by you, and I've seen it time and again where people say, "Oh, it's easier with Rob, but it's more difficult with Karalina. Karalina is a badass and whatnot." Would you say that people that are intimidated by you, and there are some, I know for a fact, do you think it's justified? Do you think people should be intimidated by you, or is it more has to do with respect the way you position yourself?
I think it depends who you're talking about. Honestly, like if you come to, let's say, to a gym and you see me in action, and I'm also like I'm a human, right? So it's not like I'm always like smiling and joking. There are like some serious things that I do on a daily basis. And that's why I think some people when they come here, they just see like a serious side of me. And that's why they feel like they get intimidated by me. But that minute that they start talking to me, it changes. So I hope people just understand that even though Apollon Gym is a place, like it's a family owned business, it's a fun place to be in, to we can talk about a lot of different things, we can joke, but it's also a place where we run business from.
I agree wholeheartedly, and that's the reason why when I hear people are intimidated by you, or sometimes I hear intimidated by me, I don't think that it's the right approach because there's nothing to be intimidated by either one of us. I feel like sometimes you and I even clash because we might have a disagreement or something like that. But I think that the reason why we work is because of mutual respect and because we listen to each other. We listen not only to each other, we listen to people, that are part of Apollon team. It's not a big team, but it's definitely a very, very solid team. And especially as of late, I couldn't be more proud of everyone. But to see what you've done as a leader is mind blowing, you know. And I said the same thing to Marina, where we had a conversation, and I said I can't even you know, there are CEOs of certain companies. Sometimes I see CEOs come and go, and they change constantly, and they jump from one brand to another one. And I'm saying it honestly from the bottom of my heart. I can't even see anyone, including myself, running Apollon better than you. I just don't see it. I don't think it's possible because the balance that you bring of positivity, aggressiveness, and open mind. People don't know. I know you, of course, better than probably anyone. People don't know that you're constantly learning, you're constantly evolving. I've seen you when you came first to Apollon Jam. Your English has improved tremendously ever since. People don't know that you're constantly learning and trying to improve your English. You're always reading books. You're doing research. You're trying to do graphic design. You're trying to, you know, supplements. And your ability to talk to different people on different levels, whether it's an athlete, ambassador, manufacturer, you know, and in the meetings, you were always getting shit done the way I haven't seen anyone do. I mean, I honestly, you know, we just started this interview, but I want to congratulate you on your personal success, not even Apollon success, your personal success, because to see you grown from day one since I've met you is absolutely astonishing. And I think you're one of those people that will succeed in no matter what they do, because I've seen you with Apollon Gym. I'm seeing you right now with Apollon Nutrition. And if there is another business venture that you're going to be involved in, I would definitely jump in to be a partner or investor, because I know that it's inevitable for it to be successful just the way you put everything you got into it. There's, I know you work 24/7. I know that people don't realize that you work weekends, you work nights. It's the amount of not even effort, but heart that you put into this brand. It's, yeah, and you just said, when I joked, you said it's my vision. My vision or not, it doesn't really matter, because I believe that you know, it's a team effort for sure. But I am there. There was a reason why I stepped down as a CEO. Many people asked why, because I'm a firm believer that we all are good at something, and I think that it's your calling to be a true leader. And I think that any company, not that you're going anywhere, but I think any company that would have such strong leadership as you are, would be tremendously not only successful, but you would be an amazing asset in any industry. Not because of your knowledge, not because of your experience, but because of your drive, commitment, and the way you approach things. You think outside the box. You approach things differently, and for that, major congratulations. And it's an honor to run a company with you. Uh,
Thank you, Rob. But I think also to add to that, since I started like at Apollon gym, let's say, like I was always surrounded by people who I looked up to, and I still do. I mean, I know that you came to this country with absolutely nothing, right? So, and where you're at right now, it took you a long way to get to this point. Marina came to this country with absolutely nothing as well, and she worked so hard up until today. And Alina, like when we started the company, she was with us, and you're absolutely right. I used to text Alina to check my grammar when it comes to English before I actually post or say or send something. But again, I was not ashamed, and I thought it was always better to ask than to do something wrong. Or like I would text you as well, and I would ask you like if that's the correct way or whatever that is. Same thing when it comes to Marina. So I was surrounded by people who I view as my obviously role models in different ways.
um, um, so we know Kay, the Pawn CEO. We know Kay, the dancer. They're there are certain. I mean, we've seen you kicking ass in Muay Thai. You're pretty badass. But the Casanova video, I mean, that video caused quite a feedback. I've been getting messages nonstop, DMs nonstop. I mean, I think Eric told me that the video was even flagged by TikTok. So you're a bad girl. But in reality, was it um, how comfortable were you doing that video? I mean, obviously you're promoting the brand. Obviously you're doing something for Apollon Nutrition, and typically the way it works, the CEO of the company or somebody who's responsible for marketing will hire somebody from outside or use one of the athletes. I mean, you are a beautiful woman. You have a great physique, and then you've done some modeling, you've done some photos and stuff like that. But the video itself is I think it's very tastefully done. Chris has done an amazing job, but at the same time, it's a very erotic, sexual, sexy video. Again, it was flagged by TikTok. So, how comfortable were you stepping from the role of the somebody who is in charge of the company to somebody who is a model wearing close to nothing and acting for the camera? Yeah, tell us that.
I mean, taking into consideration my background of a dancer, a lot of people probably don't understand, but where I grew up in Belarus and the conditions that we were put in, we would have one locker room shared with 60 people, different like females, males, doesn't matter. Like, and if you go to the concert and you have 60 seconds to change, like nobody is looking at each other. Like it's just different. So you go there to work. It's a part of job. So I think obviously when it comes to that video, that was exactly my approach. So yes, I was like wearing different things, right? It was not my day-to-day look, but it was a part of the job, and I just needed to make it. My biggest concern was obviously for that video to come out and not to, like you said, it has to be like tastefully done. It has to be from the angles that I want to see it. I always had my vision, obviously, coming and doing that video. Not a lot of people know, but I did not feel well also doing that video. And I think it actually helped because the video did come out. I did like it. So when Chris texted me, I was scared. You know that I was scared to open it up and look at it. And on top of that, also, like when you work with people and you see them day to day at the gym and they see you on social media in that kind of a video, obviously I don't walk around naked at the gym, so it's like it I would never be that comfortable and doing that like with the people that I work day to day. But from another hand, it was a part of my job, and I think I actually was pretty successful at that one. I am comfortable like in my body, even though like it was probably not the still I was not in the best shape of my life, but I'm pretty confident like the way I look, and I think it came out pretty. It was very tasteful and well done by Chris as well.
Do you think in general, I mean, I know the answer will be probably yes, but I still do you think, we typically used to um, owners of companies, managers, CEOs doing videos promoting the brand, but typically it's just talking. They talk about different products, they trying to hype them up and whatnot. But do you think for uh, somebody who is running the company, specifically female. I'm not trying to be sexist, of course, or anything like that, because I mean, guys have done it. Rich Kaspari has done it. Doug Miller has done it, where they posing, flexing and whatnot. But do you think? And I know there are not many female CEOs of brands that I know of. But yet, this is not exactly flexing muscles video. This is something very sexy, sexual, erotic, uh, tastefully done. But do you think it's okay? do you think it might hurt your image as a company, somebody who's running the company, who is the boss? Do you think people are ready for this? Do you think that people are ready to see you in that, um, seeing you that way, instead of wearing an Apollon hoodie or a beautiful dress or a business suit or something like that? Do you think people are ready? Do you think it's okay? Do you think maybe possibly it can hurt the brand? And would you do it again?
Um, Honestly, like based on the feedback that you talked about, I think it did not hurt the brand. And I don't think actually, I mean, were people ready to see me like that? Probably not. But I think they did appreciate, and I got a lot of messages too, and most of them were obviously that it's very tastefully done. So that was very pleasant feedback to me. In terms of would I do it again, something like that? Yes, and I think also like being an adult and dealing with a lot of like younger generation that comes to the gym as well, and Jessica also like that I interact with her all the time. I do still think that obviously sex it's a big part of our life. So and in order to be educated in that subject and to watch erotic movie or commercial and appreciate it, I don't see anything wrong with that. It's the same thing if you go to the museum and watch the paintings that were done like thousands or like hundreds years ago, right? A lot of them, like I would say, drawings of naked men and women, and tons of people all over the world they go to see it to appreciate it. So I don't see anything wrong with that.
Okay, let me ask you this. The video was posted on Monday, Tuesday, on Tuesday at 12 o'clock. Uh, Following the video's release, have the sales of Casanova gone up?
I mean, they did, but I don't know if it's because of the video or
No, I was just curious because I don't follow the sales and day-to-day operations. So I was just curious because if you did, we definitely have to do a lot of videos. How did your family react to it?
uh, I think I mean you met my parents and our team also like met my parents because they did come and visit and they were here with us for a couple of weeks during like those 10 years that I'm actually in America. I'm very lucky when it comes to my parents. Like I always feel support from my parents, no matter what it is. I know that they're very proud of me, and I know probably for like I would say for that, right? Especially growing up in like Soviet Union, and Rob, that we're coming from, to look at your daughter half naked, you still have to be very like strong personality to admit that it's beautiful and that he is proud of me. So I think I'm very lucky when it comes to my parents.
I agree. Um, Going back to supplement industry, I mean, before you got into this business and before you were running the company, you had very, very little knowledge about it. And I know that typically you don't get involved in all the social media fighting and and brands war and reviews and stuff like that, and all the the good, the bad, and the ugly. You just constantly focus on nothing but Apollon nutrition, but nevertheless you do know the industry. You've been to expos, you've been to retail stores, you're obviously doing your own research and stuff like that. um, every industry has its good and bad. What do you think, how do you think the supplement industry can improve?
Uh, I think also like a lot of company, like we've talked about that before. A lot of companies start as like very like reputable companies with good formulas, good marketing behind it, and then within time a lot of them actually cut the corners. A lot of them change the, I think, the values that they've had before. And that's why I think obviously they're trying to go probably for the broader market, for more margins, to make more money. And I do understand that in terms of business, but I think they don't understand once they lose their identity, it's gone. So they become like everybody else. And I think like no matter what you do, you have to stick to the vision, to who you actually are, and only in that way you can be successful for a long time. So I think that how I see a lot of things happening in the supplement industry, because everybody thinks it's like very easy, right? So you formulate a pre-workout, it's the best pre-workout, and everybody say their pre-workout is the best. But within time, you see that company changed pretty much everything. There is nothing left but the name of the company. And I think like within the time, people just understand that they've been lied to for the past whatever years, and they don't have a trust for that or this brand anymore. So I think if brands will stick to the initial idea, to the values that they started at, they will have been more successful than obviously diluting everything and cutting corners and trying to change and whatever else they're doing.
How do you see Apollo Nutrition moving forward? I mean, in terms of what would you like to see in the next year or two? What improvements, or how would you like the company to continue? And do you have any specific goals or any strategies to keep, I mean, I think that we've been getting better with each and every year, and of course with each and every year it's been more and more challenging because there is only so much you can do. Nevertheless, so far, knock on wood, we've been successful. But what do you think we should, what should you, Apollon, should do to keep improving, to keep growing? And do you think there needs to be any drastic changes or in the approach of the company? How do you envision the future of Apollon?
Like my answer is simple. Like if it's not broken, don't fix it. So if it's been working before, we should exactly follow what we've been doing, and obviously grow the brand, grow the team. Um, and I, you're not gonna actually let me lie on that one. But when we started Apollon, I've never seen it as a gym brand. I told you from day one that we're gonna be global. You looked at me like I was crazy, but I did always believe
I
in that.
still do sometimes.
Right, but like 8 years passed, and now like we not only sell at Apollon Pro Shop, it's not only nationwide, it's like overseas. And for like small brand, like family owned brand, it's not that easy. So we had a small team when we started. We still don't have a big team, even though it's growing. But I do see us obviously like as a global brand, and I know that we're not for everyone, we're not trying to be for everyone, but I truly believe that there are a lot of people who we can cater to, and they would appreciate what we do.
I agree. I agree. I again agree wholeheartedly. There is a question that I was contemplating to ask you or not. And to be honest with you, I kind of chickened out and decided not to ask you. But now, the more I think about it, the more I will lose self respect for myself if I don't ask you, because the core of our company and the core of me and you is that we tell the truth, and we don't hide and we don't pretend. So if I will not ask you this question, that's going to be a very cowardly move on my part. So I'm just going to go ahead and ask. Um, when the war broke down and Russia invaded Ukraine, we were on a verge of we actually started selling our products to Russia, and we got a great deal to distribute in Russia, and potentially it looked like our Russian business specifically would probably double or triple our global business. That's how lucrative it was. But as soon as the war started, I mean, I'm a Ukrainian Jew. You know, you are from Belarus. I mean, this is something between Russia and Ukraine. I mean, Belarus is always, of course, involved, but without any hesitation, you stopped what you were doing and you went to Brooklyn and everywhere you could to send medications and food, load trucks by yourself with people. And it was not even something we talked about. You just jumped in and started helping people, which a lot of people obviously admired and respected you and still do, of course. And even behind you, there are tubs with Ukrainian flags and colors and whatnot. That has hurt our business in Russia. It pretty much destroyed it. Not only that, there is always two sides, and even though we did not disrespect Russia or Russian people, and we were very, very, uh, we had strong views about it, and we stated numerous times that Apollon Nutrition, Apollon Gym, myself, you, and our whole team, we are definitely not anti-Russia, and we are not against Russian people, and we don't hold them necessarily responsible for what's going on. It's definitely, about the Russian government and the occupation of Ukraine, and obviously, killing of innocent civilians. But you jumped in, hurt our business. I mean, we both did. Um, you know, it can be that what I'm saying right now seem like like advertising for Apollon, how great we are, but we actually lost tons of money, potential, very lucrative deals and whatnot, and it has hurt us tremendously on that front. I mean, we still did in 2022 better than in any other year, but it could have been double or triple the revenue if it wasn't for what we've done with Ukraine. Having an open house at Apollon Gym, sending free supplements to Ukraine, helping financially. I mean, we pretty much showed that we stand with Ukraine and we stand with Ukrainian people. It has, again, it hurt us financially in terms of Russia. Um, do you think that a brand that maybe we should have been a little bit more neutral and quiet and not, and do what many others did actually? Or do you still think that what we've done was the right move? And that's pretty much my question.
I mean, when it comes to that, number one, I strongly believe that not everything is for sale. So, with all money in the world, I still need to be able to look at myself in the mirror. And if we would have done that, like, I would not be able to. And I want to sleep at night peacefully. And I know myself. So, I did not think twice. And obviously, yes, when it comes to Ukrainian people, when it comes to Russian people, when it comes to Belarusian people, we all share, I would say, the same language and certain beliefs when it comes to religion. And it's very hard to see what is still happening in Ukraine. I did not think of business at that time. It's not about business. Like I like you're from Ukraine, but I'm from Belarus. So Belarus is actually on Russian side when it comes to this situation. But I still have a lot of friends in Belarus. I still have a lot of friends in Russia who stayed in Russia, and I'm no one to judge because I also understand that it's not that easy to leave your house and just go to another country and start a new life, especially, God forbid, you have a sick child or your grandma is still alive. It's not that easy of a move, like to some people it seems like. But in terms of business, like doing business with Russia, I do not think that we did anything wrong. And I have nothing against Russian people. But when it comes to government, obviously, I very against in what is actually going on right now and what they let happen with the country that next to them that spoke. They don't speak. Most of Ukrainians don't want to speak Russian anymore. That spoke the same language. That they were proud of shared history moments. That won a war together. That were ready to kill for each other. That got killed for each other. And every other person in Russia or Belarus have a relative in Ukraine. And that's the saddest part of it. All of us who were born in those three countries, I think we still have something like I might have some Ukrainian blood running in me. And most of the Russian people, they have Ukrainian blood running in them. It doesn't matter if they like it or not, it's just the truth. So it's not about business, it's much more personal than business at that moment.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm definitely proud of what we've done, and I think I don't think I know we've done the right thing, and I'm proud of us, proud of the whole team.
But you know what? I'm sorry, but we had a great support also. So when we started doing that, uh, I was not surprised with myself because I just didn't think I was doing things right. Like but I did not expect of so many people who knew us to jump in, and that's what's actually amazed me at that time.
I
There
agree.
were people who, like, I had no idea who those people are, but they would come here on a daily basis with their kids to pack, to bring whatever they could to bring. It doesn't matter, like from local medical offices, hospitals, from their houses, they would buy things, they would donate money, they would bring whatever they had. That's what actually amazed me more than us doing the right thing.
I agree. Yeah. Thank you, Kay. Um, Changing gears right now, and I received a few questions that some of the questions were so outrageous that obviously I'm not going to ask them, but a few basic questions that came through DMs, on social media, I guess, from your fans. Um, First question is, how often do you train?
I try to, it depends what we consider in training. And for those who know me, they know that I do like different types of training. So I stretch, I do weightlifting. If I get a chance, I would love to go back to Muay Thai. I enjoyed it, I miss it. But I think at least I try 3 to 4 times a week.
Okay. And what's your diet like?
My diet, I mean, that's a funny question to me. Because I think a lot of people have different description of diet. So it's not diet to me, it's my lifestyle. I To me, I was dieting, and when I was dancing, I told you that millions of times. When I started coming to Apollon, you told me that a lot of people who come here, they on a diet. And I did not understand because they used to eat every 2 hours. I'm like, what kind of diet is that? All they do, they just eat. It's not a diet. I was on diet. So I was intaking very minimum calories, and I had like a certain list of products that I could eat. And it was like chicken breast, cabbage, green apple, cottage cheese. That was pretty much it. So I was amazed. I'm like, those people eat 7 times a day. Like, what kind of diet is that? It's not a diet. They like overeating all the time. So obviously, like I starved myself through many years, and I was much skinnier than I am right now. And that was not my obviously natural body type, I would say. Uh, I do build muscle quickly, and you know that. So with me, I don't eat sweets on a daily basis. I love sweets, and if there is a cheat day, I would rather go for dessert than entree. Everybody who knows me, they know that I can skip entree no problem, but I will jump from appetizer to dessert. So there is no diet. I just try to eat healthy food with obviously with no crazy today I will. So there is nothing crazy that I do, but yes, I don't eat white bread on a daily basis. I do not eat like any I like simple food to begin with. So like I don't like any different gravies or sauces. Um, when it comes to I'm very selective when it comes to food also. So like I can call myself like picky if like I have that one day of enjoyment, I know exactly what I want. So if it's chocolate, like I love like certain dark chocolate. If it's dessert, I do prefer dessert that I like. So it's not just to stuff myself and eat. No, but if I don't want something, I'm not gonna eat it. I don't care. But sometimes I'm so busy that I can forget to eat. And it happens to me when I'm working on stuff. But
Yeah, I know. I've seen you not eating all day. Um,
but I drink a lot of water, so
that's
I
true.
do I do drink a lot. So when people see me, I always have my bottle of water with me. So I think I take at least 3 to 4 liters of water on a daily basis. So I do drink a lot.
Okay. Two favorite Apollon products.
I love our protein, and lately one of my favorites. It's my daily routine. I love collagen.
Okay. Uh, this is this is an interesting one. What type of men you attracted to?
If we talk about like physical attraction, those who know me that I was never attracted to, let's say, pretty boys. It was never my thing. I'm attracted to, I would say, like talent in whichever way it is. uh, Whoever is the guys, it has to be a very smart person. I mean it all doesn't matter. So you have to have a chemistry. That number one. Number two, this person needs to make you feel good, and that's what's important. So there is sometimes you don't even understand why you feel one way with like one person and a certain way with another person, right? So but if whoever is with you makes you feel good, that's all that matters.
Okay. Um, what do you like to do when you are not Apollon CEO? I guess your
I
free
want.
time. What do you like to
I would like to know when is my free time first of
do?
all. No matter what I do on my, let's say, free time, I'm still doing Apollon. So like when you said that I work a lot, it's not work. It's also a lifestyle. The same thing as a diet. There is no diet. It's a lifestyle. What I eat on a daily basis. Apollon is a lifestyle. That's what I live. It doesn't matter what I do. I can go to a museum, I can go to an exhibit, I can go to a restaurant, I can go to a concert, performance, just to walk in the park and whatever that is. But if, let's say, Branch Warren calls me, like it's not, I'm not gonna like pick up a phone or something. So it doesn't matter. Like whatever, the company is running 24/7, right? So people, they don't need to know like what I do in my free time. For them, the service needs to be delivered, and it's our job to make sure that everything is working properly no matter what day time it is. So but what I enjoy to do, I'm very like open-minded when it comes to, I love going out, I love going to the concerts, I love going to museums, I love to read, I love to go to banya. Like whoever is actually familiar, they know like Russian sauna. I love that. I love just going to like, I love traveling. I love trying new foods, restaurants, learning. There are a lot of things that I love. I love to do a lot of things, even if I've never tried it before. I would always give it a shot because I cannot tell you that I don't like something if I've never tried it.
Hmm. Next, we're gonna finish off with something that I did with Corey Anderson, which is I'm gonna ask you a few questions, say about 10 maybe, and you have to give me a very short answer with first thing that comes to mind. It can be somebody's name, it can be a thing, it can be anything. First thing that comes to mind, You answer it, short answer, and without thinking. You ready?
Without thinking, that's gonna be hard.
Don't digest it too long. Just basically, question, answer. First thing, no filter. I know you how honest you are and straightforward, so that's why it makes it even more fun. So there are a few names, there are a few things, and whatever comes to mind, just say it. So you might get a few enemies after this. All right, ready?
Yep,
Branch Warren.
motivation.
Damn it. Corey Anderson.
I picture my for some reason I have in my head picture of Corey holding that like bottle of peanut butter cookie, so he looks like a teddy bear without protein.
Yeah, I have to post it again because people probably don't. Some people don't know about it, but I have it. I should actually blackmail him with that photo because
Because
there
I
was
think also
a
like Corey is so like badass, right? So like he goes like in the ring and he's like so aggressive and he's ready to kill. And then in my head, I have it with that container, like totally innocent and in love with that protein.
I think we just released cookie, peanut butter cookie. I think that was the first time. So that's just going back probably about 5 years ago.
It was at the seminar. Yep,
Yeah,
it
it
was at
was
the
in the
first seminar
seminar.
that we've had. Yep,
Okay, next, Apollon Gym.
home.
Favorite movie?
Ooh, I mean it's a hard one. I love the first thing that comes to my mind. Obviously, like I have tremendous love for Al Pacino, so Godfather, Scarface, Scent of a Woman, just keep naming them. But when it comes to, uh, I do enjoy a lot independent movies also. So it doesn't have to be like a big budget, marketed movie. The one that was very, I think, like it was big impact on me like lately. I mean, Schindler's List. That what comes to mind, obviously. Uh, that movie Drunk with Matt Drunk,
Yeah.
The Last Dance. That was a tremendously done movie. I do, for some reason, it's not like one of my favorites, but if it comes to the comedy and acting, I think that pool was phenomenal. So you just laugh throughout the movie, and it's very hard to do when it comes to comedies to have like so much like smile on your face when somebody is watching. So I did enjoy that one. When it comes to like Russian movies, I can go on and on and on. So it doesn't matter. Like I love movies, and I love like older movies. When it comes to even I don't even know how to say it in English. Like Украшение строптивого, I don't know what what is it in English. It's a tremendous movie. Like the movies with Catherine Deneuve, I love. So there are a lot of movies that I do love.
Okay. Uh, TJ Fitness Deal News.
Listen, people.
I didn't expect that. I did not expect that.
But you know what comes to mind? It's not even like association with his name. I would say like when TJ just appeared from like I don't know, like he just came to our life like unexpectedly, right? And I remember myself sitting at Apollon gym when we just released Assassin, and we were such a small company, and everybody were like talking shit about us that we had such highly stimulated pre-workout and this and that, and that we have never sell it, and it's a garbage tasting pre-workout. And all of a sudden my phone started like vibrating, and I thought it's gonna like fall down, and I'm like, something just broke down, the internet like broke down or something, the website crashed, something happened. And then I see like hundreds and hundreds of orders with coming from for Assassin. And I'm like, what is happening? Something happened. And it was not a glitch. It just TJ who broke the obviously I think he was like he opened a window for that product for us. So like I will be always grateful to what he has done for Apollon.
Agreed. Dancing.
Passion.
That I knew you were gonna say. Um, Shane Smith. Yeah, that's the reaction.
Shane, I don't even know how to like name him like using one word, but as shy as he seems, like obviously meeting him the first time, and once you start talking to him, you understand how smart he is. That's what is crazy about Shane. So Shane, do not charge. I think do not judge book by the cover. That's Shane to me.
Okay. Yeah. No. Okay. I know exactly what you're saying because I remember when you first met him and you said he's so shy.
He's very shy, but I think like once like it's both ways, right? Like you have to make people comfortable around you. So that comfort zone, when you get those people to open up to you in different sorts of ways, and then when you see like Shane also thinks extraordinary. That's what I like about him.
Okay. Favorite fighter.
What do you think?
If you're gonna say anything but Corey Anderson, he's gonna get very, very upset. But I know who your favorite fighter is. At least I think I know. I think you're gonna say Anthony Pettis.
He
Oh,
could,
Jose
but
Aldo.
Jose Aldo, yes, yeah.
Jose Aldo. Okay.
Yes, I do respect, and when it comes to fighting, I understand that it became business lately, so you have to put up a show, and I get it. It sells, it gets the excitement, it brings new people in, people spend money. And when it comes to Ronda Rousey, when it comes to McGregor, when it comes to Fedor Emelianenko, when it comes to people who like trash talk and whatever, but to me, if you not back it up, like it doesn't matter. Like all that does not matter to me. So even Jose Aldo losing to McGregor in 13 seconds, he is still my favorite fighter, and I strongly believe that he is much more skilled than McGregor.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you can call me whatever, but it's just my opinion. And Anthony Pettis, I mean, I think it's a beauty of him being he did Taekwondo if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So it's just beautiful movement. So him and Lyoto Machida is the same exact way to me. It just art. When you look, it's mixed martial arts. And
Sure.
that's an art.
Great. Um, Robert Chinetsky.
It's like I just picture like brain.
I thought you were gonna say stupid or
No,
crazy.
no, no. It's like never stop. Like even when Robert is talking to you, you see the processor is still like going.
I know exactly what you mean. Well, because it would be dangerous to say something bad about him right now. Uh,
Like why would I say something bad? It's not even about
no,
dangerous.
it's true.
That's
I totally see what you're saying, and I agree with it. Um, Favorite actor?
like favorite actor. I would say it's still Al Pacino.
I thought you were gonna say Jared Leto.
Mm, Jared Leto. I think like I love Jared Leto. And him being so picky and challenging in parts that he takes, it just crazy to me. And the guy is very talented from like different angles. I mean, look at how he looks. He's what, 52? I just showed him yesterday to you. I'm like, I do not understand what does he do on a daily basis. It's crazy. So I don't know if it's a discipline, if it's genetics. I do not know what that is, but the guy looks crazy good. So But his acting, I remember that movie, him and Matthew McConaughey, when he was playing a prostitute. As a movie, I mean, it was not my favorite movie, but the acting skills of Jared Leto is just, I mean, it's crazy to me. So I think he's very good actor, even though like some movies he failed as a Joker. I mean, we all agreed on that one, and even he agreed to that one. I read the articles and interviews and everything. It was not his movie, but Requiem for a Dream, I fell in love with Jared Leto in that movie. I've been to his concert. It was one of the best concerts that I've been to. So he did not disappoint in any sort of talent that he has. But Al Pacino, that presence that he has, I think it's the energy around him. When we went to see Anniversary for Godfather, and this little guy, like tiny little guy, who was at that time 70, I do not remember how old was him. He comes on stage and everybody else disappears, at least to me. No disrespect to anyone, but Robert De Niro disappeared next to Al Pacino. And that's what is crazy about such presence. When he talks, he is so relaxed. He is not trying to impress. At least I don't see it. Maybe he is that good of an actor. I do not know. But that's not my impression of him.
Great. Next, favorite food.
I mean, I come from Belarus, so potatoes, potatoes, but good potatoes.
I should have known that one. Okay, Marina.
Class act.
Damn, that's impressive. That's a tough act to follow for sure. Lee Priest.
Lee Priest. I think it's like no limits. That's what Lee Priest is to me. But when I actually listened to your podcast, when you interviewed Lee Priest, how obnoxious he can sound to some people, and him being so relaxed about like certain things. He finished the interview with just call your mom. And that what gets you thinking of a person that he is, even though he's been through so much, but no limits in terms of like no filter talking. But I think he has a very good heart.
Okay. Last two. Karalina.
Doesn't stop.
Robic.
I told you that from day one. When it comes to like you, I think it's just genius. That's my way of being able to be with you, like next to you for so many years. Genius when it comes to obviously the business that you have built, but I know it's much more than business to you. I think I know you very well as a person also. Like you said, some people intimidated by you, and I understand. I can see why, because I can relate to that one, because I know like why people feel the certain way about me. But like that respect, that belief, that sense of humor that you have, that knowledge for the movies, for place, fighting, food. Like you so diverse that not a lot of people probably understand. And that's, I think, when it comes to Apollon, so all those things that you enjoy and you constantly learning as well. And I know that you learn from pretty much everyone and everybody. You read articles, you watch movies, it doesn't matter. Like you talk to Robert, you talk to, like, it doesn't matter who you talk to, you're constantly trying to evolve. So in, and I know that you can admit your mistakes also, which is I find very rare these days, because a lot of people trying to cover up. You speaking the truth, it might be not pleasant to hear to some people, and that's also rare these days. But that side of you, like as a human being, you've never talked about it, Rob, but when you went to Ukraine, I think it just shows what person you are. And obviously, your friends, your family, people who care about you, yes, we all were worried, but at the same time, I think it's so much pride in what you've done. And I told you when you were living, if I could, I would have gone and helped there as well. So that's it's like you're like a diamond with different angles, and that's what you are. I think like it's a genius diamond. That's what we're gonna call it.
That's it. I'm changing control chaos to genius diamond. Thank you very much for kind words. I really appreciate it. And I have nothing but love and respect for you, and tremendous pride of not only having you as somebody very important in my life, but having working shoulder to shoulder with you on a daily basis makes me not only proud but also happy, because I think that um, not many people know, but throughout the past 8 years, and not many people know about everything about me, and rarely do I open up. But there were doubts, there was lack of confidence, um, and every time you give me this kick in the ass, because not only by saying certain things to me, but also by watching you do what you do on a daily basis, that fires me up. And when in doubt, it makes me almost ashamed that I am maybe scared, or I don't believe, or don't, or insecure about certain things, because you're one of the most positive, driven uh, people I have ever met. And that's I mean, I'm a little bit older than you, but I told you this many times. I have learned a lot from you, and for that I'm extremely grateful. You taught me a lot. Um, so on that note, we're gonna wrap it up, and I want to thank you for not only for this podcast, for doing this, but for everything you've done for the brand, everything that you're doing, everything that you've done for people of Ukraine. And I'm pretty sure not only myself, but everybody who knows you, who loves you, we're extremely proud of all your accomplishments. And I know that that's just the beginning for you. There's much more to come. And I want to wish you from the bottom of my heart, much success, continuous success, and keep killing it, keep doing what you're doing. And I hope that we're gonna have a sequel to that video, because I know a lot of people want to. And so, thank you very much. I appreciate it, and that's it. Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and see you in the next episode. Take care.
Yeah, thank you so much.